Welcome to Durbania Live. I'm Durbin, and I'm super excited to be here. 11,000 subscribers. There's the mouse. It's going to be a good time. Well, I gotta say, it's awesome to arrive here and see so many of you already in the comments. So I'm super excited to get this live Q&A started. So get your questions together. And the whole purpose of this is to say thank you, to hang out with you, I can't even talk. My community, my Durbanians, like that's the whole point. It's just to say thank you, talk to you, answer your questions. I'm super excited. So I'm coming over here because I want to pop this up on the screen and say a huge thank you to all of my patrons. Seriously, you guys, without you, without your support, couldn't be doing this. So I want to say a huge thank you for supporting Durbania and jumping on board with that extra step there. So if you want to support Durbania, I do have the link to my Patreon in my description, and you can definitely head over there and check that out. I have different rewards for different levels of giving. So be sure to check that out. Also, another way that you can help support Durbania, I do have the super chat on. So if you have a question and you really want me to answer that, you could always do a little super chat, which sticks it right there and it puts it in a different color so I can see it, in which it's a nice way to support Durbania. So thank you all so much. I see more and more comments are coming in. So many of you already just saying congratulations. So I just want to say a huge thank you. I can't believe I've been doing this for about 6 years, and it's just amazing to see this incredible growth that has just happened. And that's you guys. Like, thank you for watching Durbania. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. And thank you so much for being a part of that. Let's see here. Zachary is asking me, favorite episode of Superman and Lois. Episode 11 is my favorite. Will you rank the episodes when the season is done? I might rank the episodes. I don't promise that. I haven't really gone through shows yet and ranked episodes in the seasons, especially like CW shows. They're like 24 episodes. I know this isn't going to be 24, but that's quite a few episodes. But I might do that. My favorite episodes so far. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to think about that one. It's a really, really good show. Okay, to answer your question, I think my favorite one so far is when you had, spoilers, Morgan Edge in Superman's head. And we got to see his origin story in this particular universe. That was just a great Superman fan episode. I love the awesome, is it Max Fleischer? Is that how you say his name? I love that costume with the, S on it. Like, I love that. It has that classic look, and I think it's so good. So, anime guy, I was expecting this. I have not yet watched it, but yes, it's going to happen here really soon. In fact, I might just go ahead and spend this evening to do it because you are very persistent. And you know what? I appreciate that. So, thank you so much. Dale, I watched 300 for the first time today. Have you ever watched it? If so, what do you think? Personally, I love it. I have watched it, and I do enjoy it. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it was my first time seeing anything ever directed by Zack Snyder, and I thought it was fun. I mean, a lot of people were making fun of the slow motion in that movie. This is Sparta, and the kick down into the well and all that, but I really did like it, and I like a lot of the battles and the slow motion battles, but I also like seeing that small number stand up against that large number. They use their wit against the bronze, and so I thought that was very cool. So there's a lot of things about it that is very cool, especially that ending with King Leonidas and that roar that he does at the end. So I do like it. So it's a really, really good one. Hello, Durbin. How are you? Congratulations. Well deserved. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, the Dragon Critic. Let's see. Dog Lover. I know this is my first live stream on your channel. Oh, well, hey, thank you for coming over to this first live stream. It's a Q&A, so come up with a question, throw that in here. Very much so looking forward to talking to you. The Dragon Critic says, have you been enjoying the summer? Yes, I have. I'm a little bit behind right now. My wife's side of the family all came out last week. So I did see Black Widow. I just haven't knocked out a review. And so it's kind of, I'm catching up. But it's been a great summer, and I had a great time hanging out with my family. So how about you, Dragon Critic? How's your summer been for you? Superman and Lois is only 15 episodes long. It ends the second week in August. Yes. So I might be able to rank that a little bit easier. I am looking forward to seeing where this show is going to go. I think the next time like I review it on my channel, I'm going to wait until after the season finale. That way I could just do like a season review. I mean, this is 15 episodes. That's a lot week to week to week to keep on doing. So I'm just going to go ahead, wait for that season finale. And I'm on the Wall of Weird. They're going to continue doing Superman and Lois reviews, and I'll be joining them, when I can. I might, next week's going to be kind of rough, but we'll see. But it's going to be awesome. Jenna says, happy 11 million. I wish it was 11 million. I'm pretty sure you meant 11K. But, oh, man, that'd be awesome if it was 11 million. Here's Laura promising the anime guy. She added it to my watch list. That's my wife for you. I definitely married up when I married her. Which is better in your opinion, Shrek 2 or How to Train Your Dragon 3? How to Train Your Dragon 3. I love Shrek, and I love Shrek 2. Those are my two favorite movies out of the Shrek franchise. I pick How to Train Your Dragon 3 because I thought the trailer for How to Train Your Dragon 3 was lame, and it made the movie look so lame. And then I go see it, and it's not lame at all. It surpassed all of my expectations. I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a really good ending to the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. I heard my wife in the other room. I picked How to Train Your Dragon 3 over Shrek, and she just went, oh, Shrek is her movie. Like, that is her feel-good movie that she could just pop in anytime, or if she's not feeling good, or she's in a bad mood, Shrek is on. Shrek or Tangled. It's like one of those two. Let's see. You gonna watch Star Wars Bad Batch, or as the fandom dubs it, the Dad Batch? Ever notice the rows of Star Wars stories made it by Dave Filoni coming around fathers like Manda? Yeah, that's true. I will watch the Bad Batch eventually. I don't know why I quite haven't watched it yet. I mean, the ending to the Clone Wars was just so fantastic. And the last season was really good, but the episodes with the Bad Batch just were not my favorite. I feel like the first half of the final season of Clone Wars didn't feel like a final season kind of deal. It felt like those should have been much earlier in the show. And when we got to the latter half of the final season of Clone Wars, like those final 4 episodes that are like a movie, that's like the best of the prequels right there. So I haven't yet gotten myself worked up to go watch the Bad Batch. I am interested, and I keep seeing more and more stuff pop up. So that is probably something that I will have to check out here soon. I'm just wondering, when do you believe you'll get to review Power Rangers Dino Thunder? Episode 14 is uploading to YouTube next week. I don't know. I've been really busy a lot with, doing reviews for The Chosen and doing reviews for Loki and WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Superman and Lois. So it's chilling out a little bit. So I might go in there and start checking out Power Rangers Dino Thunder here pretty soonish. Summer has been pretty good. Thank you for asking. I saw Black Widow this week. All right. What are your guys' thoughts on Black Widow? I have yet to do an official review, and that could be fun in this Q&A if we talk about Black Widow together. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Oh, I know you met 11K, Jenna. I was just teasing you. Thank you so much, though. I really appreciate it. What is a movie that your wife loves but you can't stand? What is a movie that you love but your wife can't stand? Laura, what movie do I love that you can't stand? She gave 2 answers without even thinking about it. You know that Jim Henson Muppet show, Dinosaurs? You know, with the Sinclair family and a baby that says not the mama? I love that show. Laura hates it. I mean, doesn't just hate it. She hates it. And I like Interstellar. I don't love the ending, but I love the musical score, and I think the movie is pretty interesting until the ending. Laura can't stand that at all. And what movie does my wife love that you can't stand? I don't know. I mean, there are things that she watches that I just can't get myself interested to watch. Like, she loves This Is Us, and I just can't bring myself to watch it. I don't know. It's just not something that interests me. So that's about the best I could think of right there. Doug James says, congrats on a great channel. I love your background choices with those great comic book covers. God bless. Well, thank you so much, and God bless you too. Michael says, favorite action movie. It can even be comic book or science fiction. Oh, man. I love it when you guys ask these tough questions. Let's see. What is my favorite action movie? Let's see. What was that, Laura? She's going to say Jurassic Park. It is my favorite movie of all time. And it is sci-fi. And it definitely does have a lot of action. I'll go with that. But if you're trying to go just kind of solid action movie, let's see. I do love a lot of great Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Really love Terminator 1 and 2. Those are some good, dark action films. What else do I love? Oh, Speed. Oh my gosh. I don't know how or why, but that is just always one of my favorites. It was on HBO Max, just found it probably about 2 months ago. And Laura, I don't remember if she'd seen it or hadn't seen it in so long she'd forgotten about it. And I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. I was excited. I hit play and I loved it as much as I did when I was a kid. And you know what? Laura didn't get up and walk away. That's a huge compliment from her. So that's really, really good there. Let's see here. Do you prefer Star Wars prequel trilogy or the sequel trilogy? See, that's a tough question. Okay. If you followed my channel, you know I'm not a fan of the prequels. And there are things that I like and respect about the sequels. If I had, though, to pick between the prequel trilogy and the sequel trilogy, I will go ahead and pick the prequel trilogy for this reason only. It at least had a plan. It knew where it was going and had a path to get there. I may not always be a fan of the execution of that path, like episode 2, super whiny Anakin crying the whole way through that movie. You know, he doesn't like sand and crying about everything else. Gosh, it's irritating to listen to him whine. Why does Padme have any interest in that whiner? If I was anything like that, I bet you Laura would never have married me. I don't understand what she sees in him. Anyway, I have my problems with the prequels. I have my problems with their execution. But I would pick probably the prequels over the sequels just because the prequels at least had a plan. I loved episode 7. I thought it was so much fun. Episode 8 of Star Wars tried so hard to play the subverting game that its own subversion of everything became this gigantic joke on itself. And it was just very irritating. Like, how do you take the second movie where you're supposed to be leading into the conclusion and subvert every bit of the setup that's supposed to start us on this path to this conclusion? And then I don't think episode 9 is terrible, but it's definitely not what a Star Wars Skywalker finale should have been because they didn't have a plan. So that's me. And that's why I would pick the prequel trilogy over the sequel trilogy. Animation or live action? I mean, for the most part, I pick live action. I love movies. I love behind the scenes stuff and filming and all that. So like I have that whole other interest that makes me love live action. But I love animation. Like I have no problem with animation whatsoever. Let's see. Dimension Scott, my thoughts on Black Widow. It's near perfect prequel that I watched it again on the same day. It's an A in my book. I need to watch Black Widow again. So if you want to continue this Black Widow discussion in the comments, let's keep it going. Like I said, I haven't done an official review yet. My general review would be it was good and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the action. In terms of the story, I really liked how it fleshed out I almost called her Wanda. My gosh. It fleshed out Black Widow's story just a little bit more, giving her that chance to see her family again. And then, make her want to connect with her Avengers family again. Like, I feel like it did a good job connecting the dots in terms of that story. There's still things I'm digesting about it, though. Like, I feel like I need to see it again, but I don't want to pay $30 on Disney Plus, and I don't feel like driving out to the theater again right now. But one of the things that drove me nuts is like a rocket hits her car, it explodes, and it rolls, and she walks out without a scratch. She's got no powers. She's not been bitten by a radioactive Black Widow. Like, she's got none of that. And so to me, that almost devalues those that have powers because a normie survives something big like that. And she had several moments where it's like, how in the world do you know? Like, you're dead. And if you're not dead, you're in a coma with years of rehabilitation ahead of you. You are not super. So there were moments like that that drove me nuts in the movie. So I do need to see it again. And the next time I see it, I got to put it in its proper context of where it falls. Because I feel like mentally, I was kind of done with this character. Not that I disliked her. I liked Black Widow just fine, but she's already given her life. She's already sacrificed. So I now think I'm in the right mindset. I think my expectations are in the right place. So I do need a second view. Have you ever been turned off by bad CGI? Yes, I have. I'm trying to think of a movie to give you an example where I've been turned off. I mean, the 90s Mortal Kombat movies are really good examples of that. I was rewatching those for the first time, actually watching them for the first time so that I could watch the new Mortal Kombat, and it was terrible. Yet I love Sharknado, and that's terrible. So I don't know. It's interesting. It depends on the movie. Watch a movie, watch a movie, review a movie with, make a movie with Sean Chandler, Zach Pope, and Austin Burke. That is actually a great idea. I've done quite a few videos with Sean Chandler. I like Austin and Zach. I've talked with them both. I think I've been with Zach on Sean Chandler's channel when he did his trivia show. That was a lot of fun. Austin, I haven't done anything with yet, and I really like Austin, and I would love to do something with Austin. Favorite Jim Carrey movie? First one that came to mind the moment I saw your comment was The Truman Show. Because what I love about The Truman Show, it's that perfect mix of the Carrey humor with him showing more of his dramatic side. The other one I like is The Majestic. Not because it's a good movie. I mean, it's an okay movie, but I really like seeing how Jim Carrey could act. Like, he really brought out his dramatic side for The Majestic. But my favorite has got to be The Truman Show, because to me, that's just the best mix of his humor and his high energy with more of that dramatic side. What did you think of the post-credit scene in Black Widow? I thought it was interesting. I mean, honestly, I'm glad Falcon and the Winter Soldier was the first reveal of a certain character, but it was a pretty interesting post-credit scene, making me more interested in the Hawkeye show. I was already interested in that to begin with, so yep. And then let's see, Yelena and Red Guardian are easily my favorite parts of Black Widow. I could agree with that. And Red Guardian was absolutely hysterical. He was one of the best parts of that movie. And it was so uncomfortable watching him try to put on his Red Guardian costume for the first time in like 40 years. Like, he's such a big dude and he's trying so hard to fit into that costume. And honestly, that part cracked me up. The one thing that was kind of weird and weak to me was the whole dialogue between her and her adopted mother. I'm going to try not to do too many spoilers. It was just weird, though, because they had this conversation. It looked like she was in trouble. We get over to the Red Room. We do a flashback. Oh, no, we already planned for that. Then we move forward. Oh, flashback. We already planned for that. And it's like, okay, that was weird, but whatever. I'll go ahead. What's your opinion on Shark Tale? I have not seen it. Do you agree Zack Snyder's trilogy is a masterpiece? Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I'd go with the word masterpiece. I mean, I absolutely love Man of Steel. I have my problems with Batman versus Superman. But Justice League definitely increased my respect for the choices Zack Snyder made with BVS. And it was great setups for a lot of the really good things that happen in there. I don't know if I would go so far as to say it was a masterpiece, because for me, I mean, Lord of the Rings trilogy, that trilogy is a masterpiece. The original Star Wars trilogy, that is a masterpiece. So, like, you know, I get into things like that. And to me, like, oh, those are the masterpieces. They just keep adding and building. And so I'm back and forth on that. I really do love all three of those movies, though. Like, I have a deeper respect for BVS. Man of Steel is one of my favorite Superman movies, and I do love Justice League. When I asked my question about Sean, Zach, and Austin, I meant pick one. Oh, I get it. Pick one to watch a movie with, review a movie with, and make a movie with. Okay, so let's think. I would make a movie with Zach Pope because I've seen him do some things like that. Let's see. I would review. Hold on, let me go back. Watch a movie, review a movie. I think I would watch a movie with Sean Chandler. I've reviewed quite a few with him now. So I would love to just sit down with Sean and just watch a movie with him and have us talk back and forth as we're watching it. I think that'd be fun. And I'd review a movie with Austin Burke. I like that guy. I like his energy. And we haven't collaborated yet. So that would be an absolute blast. Thank you for clarifying that. So I appreciate that, because now I can actually go back and answer your question there. Independence Day or Men in Black? Independence Day. I love just the sci-fi action of Independence Day. I love Men in Black, and I think it's a lot of fun. But I do love a good sci-fi action film. And if I had to pick between the two of those, Independence Day is seriously one of my favorite movies from the 90s. I had 1993 Jurassic Park, fell in love with that as a kid. And then 3 years later, I got Aliens with Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith Yeah, that movie. Oh my gosh. And Bill Pullman, best president we never had. That speech, man. Oh, that speech gives me goosebumps to this day. Let's see. Seth Draven, what is up, Seth? Also, I'm kind of late to this, but congrats on 11K. Well, thank you, Seth. I really appreciate that. And better late than never. Incredibly glad to have you. What's a good example of a movie where you believe has terrible visuals but a great story? Terrible visuals, but a great Sharknado. I'm kidding. No, that movie's just fun though. Like if you just want dumb where you don't have to think, Sharknado is a lot of fun. Gosh, that is a good question. Terrible, Laura. What's one with terrible visuals but a great story? Gosh, wow. I'm drawing a blank on that one. Let's see. Give me a second. Something is going to come to mind. And people, please keep posting your questions. I'm having a blast with you guys. This is a lot of fun. Oh, man. Well, Dragon Critic, I cannot think, but I found this other comment from you. In your opinion, who's the best actor to play Superman and Spider-Man? I could definitely get into that. Christopher Reeve was hands down the best actor to play Superman. I am loving Henry Cavill right now, though. I think he does a great job. Tom Welling really grew into the role, so he'd probably be my second favorite. But I think Henry Cavill really fits a modern Superman. And I really like Tom Holland as Spider-Man right now. I never really connected with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. I do like Spider-Man 2, but I did not connect to that trilogy. I like the Andrew Garfield movies, okay, but Tom Holland is just the one I connect with the most. So, yeah. Dimension Scott says, I only like Revenge of the Sith. Now, does that mean in all the Star Wars movies, you only like Revenge of the Sith? Or is that you going back into the prequels and the only thing you like out of the prequels is Revenge of the Sith? Just throwing that out there. Let's see here. You are on an island and you get the choice to choose one movie. What movie do you pick? Oh, man. Is it bad the first movie that went through my head is Jurassic Park? Well, no, that's the question. Like, what is the first movie you would pick? That's one of my favorite movies of all time. One of the best experiences seeing it on the big screen, and one of the longest stories of seeing something on the big screen. I mean, went through a lot to finally see that movie. I would probably pick Jurassic Park. I think Tyler Hoechlin is pretty great. He's probably my favorite. Yeah, Tyler Hoechlin is impressing me as Superman. The one thing that is not impressing me with him as Superman is his Clark Kent. It's not that his Clark Kent is necessarily bad in of itself, but he doesn't look the least bit different from Clark Kent to Superman. He has no effort to disguise his voice or have different mannerisms. I don't understand how in that one episode, Lana could stare Superman in the eyes, listen to him talk, and not go, Clark? Seriously? You're Superman? How is she missing this? How is everybody missing this? Other than that, I agree. I really do like Tyler Hoechlin. He is just that great, bright, hopeful Superman, and I really do enjoy his performance. I might have to go back and revisit my ranking of, my top favorite live action Supermans, because first time I did that, Tyler Hoechlin didn't have his own show. So I'm going to have to check that out. Dale says, I said it earlier, but I'm looking for a job right now. If I get one and start making a bit of money, I'll become a patron. Well, Dale, that's awesome. I appreciate that. But I just appreciate you being here right now and being in the comments and hanging out and watching Durbania. That's what I appreciate the most. The Godfather or Shawshank Redemption. Without even a second thought, Shawshank Redemption. I found The Godfather to be pretty boring. I mean, I did watch it at 4 a.m. with some friends, and they were trying to make me watch these classic movies I hadn't seen before. And I am so glad we didn't watch the rest of the Godfather trilogy. I was just so bored with that first one. Shawshank was just so good, though, and emotional. Such a great character development and story. How many tissue boxes did you go through on a tearjerker movie? It's less than 2, then prepare. Wait, hold on. If it's less than 2, then prepare a box of 10 or more, because Violet Evergarden literally rages war on your tear ducts. Oh, man. Okay. All right. I'm going to watch Violet Evergarden, and I will let you know if I needed those tissues. How many tissue boxes did you go through on a tearjerker movie? I don't really go through tearjerkers or use the tissues because I don't have a lot of tears. I think the thing where I think I've cried the most watching things recently is The Chosen. It's just telling a fantastic story, bringing me into the emotion of it, and then I really, really feel it. So I think that's the stuff where I've been feeling the most emotion lately as I'm watching something. A lot of times, though, like I still enjoy it, even if I'm not, crying. But all right, anime guy, you're hyping this up quite a bit. It now has a lot to live up to. So we're just going to have to see how this goes. Are you going to get Zack Snyder's Justice League September 7th? Yeah, it's already pre-ordered, and I cannot wait to own an actual physical copy of it. Yes, I am beyond excited. Funniest theater experience, best and worst theater experience. Okay, funniest theater experience. Let's see. Okay, let's go back to Jurassic Park because this is a long story, but it is hilarious. We got a sneak preview to see Jurassic Park like a week before it came out or something. I remember that clearly, and I was so excited because I was 9. I loved dinosaurs. Loved. That's a stupid thing. I currently still love dinosaurs. So I remember going to the theater. My sister was 4. And when that T-Rex ate Donald off the toilet, my sister screamed for all the theater to hear, and we had to leave right as the T-Rex ate that dude off the toilet. It took me weeks to get to go back to the theater with my dad. So here's where it's the funniest experience. I had to pee, and I didn't realize that until the movie had started, and I was like, I'm not moving. I have waited too long, and I have already missed half this movie. No. By the end of that movie, I was in so much physical pain that to this day, when I go to the movie theater, I don't drink any liquid. I dehydrate myself to not have that same experience again. So that's probably encompasses both the funniest and worst. I'm trying to think, what is one of the worst theater experiences? Oh, yeah. I went and saw Exodus, Gods and Kings. Not only is that movie awful, and nobody should ever see the movie Exodus, Gods and Kings, but I went to see it in 3D. And the projector kept not working, and it hurt your eyes to look on the screen. They had to restart the movie 3 or 4 times. I kid you not. So, had to go through that awful experience in the beginning just to watch a pretty awful movie. Hot takes for nerds. What's up, my friend? Congratulations, Durbin. Who is your favorite character in Avatar: The Last Airbender? Mine is Iroh. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. I'm bad at names. Hey, Laura, what's the name of the kid? The brother who throws the boomerang. I loved him. I just completely related to him and his clumsiness and all of that stuff. And, to be there with those airbenders, it just reminds me of Batman and the Justice League or something. But I love him. I cannot believe I can't remember his name. What was it? Sokka. I relate to Sokka. I think Sokka is probably one of my favorites, followed by Appa. I mean, how could you not love Appa? Oh, man. And Zuko was great. Oh, my gosh. If we want to start talking about this show in the comments, let's go ahead. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I binged through the whole show once. It's probably been about a year. That's too long. I got to go back through it again. I mean, the fact that I drew a blank on his name, man. But anyway, yes, so many great characters in that show. I love Uncle Iroh. I love Zuko. He is so fantastic. And I love his entire character growth. And so I love, it wasn't so black and white who was good and who was evil. And everybody had their own struggles. So incredibly interesting. What games do you play? Are you a Destiny 2 player? If so, how are you enjoying Season of Splicer? And do you read the Achilles Weaves Cocoon lore book? If not, look up My Name is BYF. Okay, so what games do I play? Unfortunately, it's not Destiny 2. I did play Destiny, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, but I think I rented it or I downloaded the demo on the PlayStation 3. So I haven't really played Destiny 2, but it is a very interesting game. But the types of games that I love to play, I just got Mario Golf on the Nintendo Switch. That might sound, I don't know, lame and boring, but I'm really enjoying Mario Golf. My wife kicks my butt on it, though. My gosh. I thought at least if there's any place I'd be good at golf, it'd be a Mario game. Apparently not. I love Mario Odyssey. I think that's a blast. I love Smash Brothers. Can you tell there's a theme here? I love Mario games. I love Nintendo games. I was never a Zelda person, but I love Breath of the Wild. And then there was that Phoenix Rise from the ashes. Oh my gosh, what is it called? She's laughing. My wife is over there laughing at me. What is it called? Phoenix Immortals Rising. I do like that game. It was very much like Breath of the Wild. So those are the types of games that I play. So I might have to go look up all those things that you say there. But yeah, I haven't. Have you ever seen the 2000 film Sunshine with Chris Evans? He plays an astronaut on a mission to reboot the sun. No, I haven't seen that. I've never even heard of that. Now I'm going to go check that out. An astronaut who reboots the sun? Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Also, if you don't mind animation, check out Playmobil, the movie. I like it more than the Lego films, but people didn't give it a chance. All right, I'll have to go check that out. See, everybody here is being nice, reminding me Sokka. Hot takes for nerds. Sokka. I do love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like I said, I've only seen it once, so I've got to go back through the show again. And then I tried the other sequel series. It just did not grab my attention like the original Avatar: The Last Airbender did. But I am going to have to go back and watch it again and maybe try to do some more in-depth videos on it. Because my wife and I, we did a review of all 3 seasons. Is it 4 seasons? I can't remember now. Oh my gosh, I need to go back through this show. Either way, I've seen all the seasons and I absolutely love it. So yeah, I might have to go back through and re-binge and do some more videos. What would you do if they did a remake of Jurassic Park? I would pray. And my prayer would be, if you're going to remake Jurassic Park, just grab the Michael Crichton novel and make it as close to that as possible. The present film didn't do a bad job, but there is a lot of great stuff in that novel that is not in the book. And so maybe if they did like a mini series or something and really delved into everything that happened in the book and then did the same thing with the Lost World, that's what I would prefer if they were ever going to remake Jurassic Park. Let's see. Have lunch with Mary, kill Batman, Wonder Woman, and Wait. Oh, okay. I would marry none of these people because I'm married to Laura and she's better than Wonder Woman. Have lunch with, kill Batman. I couldn't kill Batman. I mean, come on. If Batman can figure out how to beat Superman, I don't even stand the least bit of a chance with Batman. Let's see. I'd have lunch with Superman for sure. I got a lot of questions for Superman, and I would love to just hang out with him. Let's see. Have lunch with, marry, or kill Batman. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I probably have lunch with Wonder Woman too, but yeah, I'd have lunch with Superman. That's the dude I just want to hang out with and talk to for sure. Best comic book couple: Batman and Vicky Vale, Spider-Man and Mary Jane Watson, or Superman and Lois Lane. Okay, best comic book. Yes, it's Superman and Lois Lane, 100%. My favorite version of that is Smallville, because Erica Durance is my favorite Lois Lane, and I liked Erica Durance and Tom Welling. But I am also really enjoying the Superman and Lois version right now. I also like Man of Steel. Yeah, so you see the conclusion here. Best comic book couple is definitely Superman and Lois Lane. Do you think the MVU storyline has become lazy after Endgame, or was it already showing signs before that? I think you mean the MCU, correct? I don't know. I'm not of the opinion that it's lazy yet, because I have enjoyed the show so far, and Marvel has earned the right to take my money. And there's definitely some things I'm very, very excited about seeing, like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Shang-Chi looked more interesting to me in its second trailer than the first trailer. So, there's definitely things I'm still very much so looking forward to. So I wouldn't say they've gotten lazy. I think what's happening is they just completed a 10-year story arc, which is the Infinity Saga. And so now, kind of like phase 1 of that Infinity Saga, we got phase 4, which I guess is the phase 1 of whatever this new saga they're building is. So we got to lay some new, fresh groundwork. Spider-Man, not Far From Home, No Way Home. Definitely looking forward to checking that out. Got to say a huge thank you, Michael Clark. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. How can we protest Princess Bride remake? Oh, if there's anything I've learned about Hollywood, you could protest all you want. If they think it's going to make money, they're just going to make it. So, how can you protest it? Leave comments like this on channels like mine and others when people are doing live streams and get people to comment on it. I don't know how or who would be bold enough to take things like The Princess Bride and say, I could do that better. Allow me to remake that. Congrats, Durbin, for the 11K. I too like ATLA, Avatar The Last Airbender. And after 7 attempts of trying to watch Korra, it was 7 attempts? Oh, man. Definitely not perfect, but it was still interesting seeing the lore of Avatar expand. I could agree with that because I think I got through the first 2 seasons fine of Korra. It's after that that I kind of struggled, and I can't even remember at what point I actually gave up. What are some movies that you find overrated? I think Princess Bride, Christmas Story, Jojo Rabbit, and Spider-Verse are my picks. Well, I always get in trouble with this, but really almost anything by Quentin Tarantino I think is highly overrated. I don't get it. I don't even think he's that great of a writer. And people praise his writing. I mean, I sat there and watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That movie is so dang long. And then they're on the airplane, and the narrator pops in out of nowhere for no reason and starts narrating a story of Leonardo DiCaprio's character making spaghetti westerns. And they jumped over that. And that was a far better plot than the nothing that I got on the screen for what felt like 3 hours. I mean, so I don't know. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, way overrated. I always get in trouble for this. Pulp Fiction to me, it's just way overrated. Like I've watched it and I don't get it. I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to offend anybody. If you love it, you love it. That's fantastic. I'm sure there's things that I absolutely adore that you can't stand, but that would be my biggest thing. Like, I go into those Tarantino movies and I go, I think almost every single one of them is overhyped and overrated. Was there more to your question? I think Prince. Okay. I love, though, Christmas Story. I mean, I get it. That is definitely overrated, but I do love it. It's just one of my favorite things. Princess Bride, I haven't seen in a while, but I do love that. Did not watch Jojo Rabbit yet. Spider-Verse, though, is fantastic. I love Spider-Verse. I love the music in that movie. I love the animation style that they picked for that movie. And I think it had a really good story. So I think if Spider-Man No Way Home becomes a live-action Spider-Verse movie, it's got a lot to live up to. So I think The Birds is very overrated. I kind of think so too. I've seen The Birds once a long time ago. One of my friends loves Hitchcock, so we watched a whole bunch of those movies back to back. And some are good, some are meh. And for me, Birds is very meh. Let's see here. What's a movie you enjoy but your wife doesn't? I think we got into that a little bit earlier. Like the show Dinosaurs, she can't stand that at all. Interstellar, like I don't like the ending of Interstellar. I find that part disappointing, but everything up to that point I think is visually great, and I love Hans Zimmer's score in that movie. But Laura just she absolutely cannot abide that movie. So yeah. Wow. Well, thank you guys. As we are filling out here some more comments, what are some questions that you have for me? They could be anything. MCU, DC comics. I love both the MCU and DC. But just to reiterate, the whole point of doing this is just to say a huge thank you to you and hang out with you, my community, my fellow Durbanians. And I'm so grateful to be up to 11,000 subscribers. And then once it happened, like it happened so fast. So really all I can say is thank you all so much. The anime guy, what do you find interesting about villain characters who change over time to see the outcome of the evils they have done? And do you think when they try for repentance, should they what? And do you think when they try for repentance, should they at the least should they at the least be reconciled with? Wow. That is good. You know what, though? I love a good redemption story. I really do. And I think it's one of the reasons I like to show The Chosen a lot because it's just showing very imperfect people, a lot of them making some very bad decisions. And yes, being reconciled, being forgiven, and then having to learn to forgive each other. So, like Loki, for instance, going through all 6 episodes of Loki, I was kind of nervous because I loved Loki's character arc in the movies, in the MCU. It was so cool to watch him grow and then be such a villain and to continue to go back and forth. And it was such a real struggle for him. All of that I found incredibly interesting. And then, the way he dies, it was so sad. So I was kind of nervous for Loki because it's like Loki already had a great character arc. So what are you going to do? And I think they did a great job with it, having Loki go from wanting a throne because he wanted power to the end of this wanting a throne, not because he wants it. He doesn't want it, but he wants good for the timeline and he wants good for somebody other than himself, Sylvie, which is odd because Sylvie is himself, but isn't. It's very, the point is, I liked seeing Loki's character grow. And yeah, that's a perfect example of a villain that I would like to have seen reconcile with maybe some of the other Avengers. I mean, we saw him reconcile with Thor. If he had survived that whole thing, how would he have reconciled with Earth? How would Earth have reconciled with him? That would have been very curious. What's your favorite Superman costume? So I like the Max Fleischer Superman costume with the S symbol and it's black behind it. I think that's very cool. And similarly, I like the Kingdom Come because, it's an older Superman and I kind of like the design on that one. I do love the version of the suit that is in Man of Steel. I think it looks fantastic. I love all the details that are in it. And I thought the black suit was really cool. And they did a good job with that. The only thing is, I wish we got more of a reason why did he pick the black suit in the Justice League movie? Because in the comics, in the animated movies, and the other things I've seen, he doesn't wear the black suit just to be dark. He wears the black suit because it's a recovery suit. Its design is to absorb solar energy faster, feed that into his body faster, and help him recover faster. Because when he comes back to life after Doomsday, he doesn't really have his powers. So he's wearing that costume to help charge faster. So I love the look of it in Justice League, and I'm glad they put him in it. I just wish we got more of a reason. So I love that. I also like Smallville season 10. It's like a biker's jacket, but at the same time, I look at that and go, you know what, though? If you're going to take Superman and put him in the modern day, that kind of works because the costume that he wears was based off like 1930s, like wrestlers and circus people. And that's kind of what it's more based off of. And so I feel like season 10 of Smallville captured something that is more based in our modern time. It might not look the absolute best, but it is more fitting with the time. So I don't know. I like a lot of different Superman costumes. I think a lot of them are really cool. I'm on season 8 of Smallville. Awesome, Jenna. How are you enjoying it so far? And what is your favorite season of Smallville so far as you're going through season 8? I did not like season 8 at all the first time I went through it, but this last time I did it, I really did enjoy it. So very interested to hear more of your thoughts on Smallville as we talk. What are your thoughts on The Chosen? I love it. Well, I have tons of videos now on my channel about The Chosen. And now that I'm working with Chris and we're going to be the super fans representing the fans of The Chosen and doing some very cool things with the show, I can confidently tell you, yeah, I absolutely love The Chosen. First time I watched season 1, I got to tell you, I almost didn't even watch the show because it's just like, what good stuff could come out of Christian media? I kid you not. Thoughts like that go through my head. And it was the first preview I saw that had Matthew in it. I went, that is a different and unique take. And so I watched it and I love it. I love the show's perspective. And you know what I love about The Chosen? It reminds me of the Chronicles of Narnia. With the Chronicles of Narnia, C.S. Lewis boldly told a story. And when he portrayed Jesus as the lion Aslan, that was the first time I read with Jesus being full of emotion, being happy, sad, angry, funny, like all of these things. And it was so relatable and it was so powerful. And I loved it. And I've been waiting for something like that to be brought to the screen. And now The Chosen, it doesn't preach at us. It just tells the story. And it makes these characters interesting. It takes a unique perspective to draw you in. And they have done a fantastic job so far. So thank you, Matrix 7 Adventures, for bringing that up because I absolutely love The Chosen. Oh, that's my wife. Okay. Zachary, he got me on the internet. I got you on the internet? Oh, okay. Dale says, do you like Superman Returns? So do I like Superman Returns? The answer is yes and no. I find it so weird, the idea of Superman having an illegitimate son. It just does not compute to me with the character and heart of Superman. So I did not like that. I did not like that he goes away for 5 years and he comes back and he's got a son. That was not my favorite thing. The other thing I don't like is it's a pseudo sequel to Superman 2. And it's clearly meant to fit in that universe. And yet, in 5 years, they went from 1978 to 2006 and they had cell phones and modern cars, flat screen monitors for computers. I struggle with things like that. What I really like about it, I like the overall story. I like the idea of Superman being gone for 5 years and how the world has adjusted to his presence. And now, how do they have to readjust to him not being there and then readjust again to his return? And Lex Luthor's anger towards Superman for robbing 5 years from his life. I like the concept of him growing a kryptonite island, and I like the concept of Superman like pushing that island into space. I wish we could explain that more, because one tiny rock of kryptonite brings him to his knees. How did he lift an entire island of kryptonite? And he had a kryptonite shard still trapped in his back. So it's like, how did that work? But I like it. Like, the emotion of it is incredibly good. So can you see my back and forth? Like, I think Brandon Routh was a great Superman. The shame we didn't get his take on Superman, because it was him doing Christopher Reeve's take on Superman. But he did a great job. We got more of his take with the CW when he reprised his role as Superman in Crisis on Infinite Earths. That was my favorite part. The Kingdom Come Christopher Reeve Superman, played by Brandon Routh. He did a great job. But yeah, I liked Superman Returns. I did overall like the cast. It's not my favorite. It's got some great ideas and some great things going for it, but also some odd choices that leave me scratching my head. What about your thoughts on Django Unchained and Inglourious? Yep, my favorite two Tarantino movies. I actually haven't seen those. And the reason I haven't seen them is because I'm not a Tarantino fan. So, I watched a lot of Tarantino movies in the past. Again, I have a friend who just loves those type of movies. And so he made me watch The Godfather. He made me watch Pulp Fiction. He made me watch From Dusk Till Dawn. I mean, he made me watch all kinds of Tarantino films, So the Tarantino knowledge and films that I've seen have come from this guy. I just wasn't impressed. So anytime I see something from Tarantino, I have no desire to see it. I have no idea what compelled me to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And that is hours of my life I will never get back. Thoughts on Superman and the Mole Men? Oh, I haven't seen it. I actually own it, though. That's the funny thing. When I was still living in Ohio, working at my first radio station, one of my bosses, as a birthday present, got me the George Reeves season 1 box set. And so I've been through a bunch of those episodes, really enjoy the show. It's a lot of fun, but I didn't make it to Superman in the Moment. And that's about the time I moved to California. And I think that box set is still sitting in Ohio. So I haven't quite gotten there yet, but I would like to, very much so. Let's see here. One thing that the other me about Black Widow was the Red Guardian prison escape sequence. Prior to that, Natasha was trying to hide from Ross and the government. So why a big escape? Yeah, I mean, the big escape sequence was kind of interesting. The thing that drives me nuts is, yes, okay, spoiler alert, she's trying to hide from General Ross and then surrenders to General Ross in the end, and then it skips to 2 weeks later, and again, she's free. Somebody has to explain that one to me. That can draw attention to yourself. Seemed like they should have been disguised themselves as guards to break him out. Yes, I agree. They came in on a helicopter. They had the action sequence was fine. Like, it was fun, but yeah, let's say she should come in disguised as a guard or something. So shouldn't she? Shouldn't she? Can I talk? What is your favorite phase armor of the clone troopers from Star Wars? Phase 1 with the T-shaped visors, 2 with the stormtrooper looking helmets, or the Republic Commando armor? And for you, okay. I don't know how to answer that question. I just have never paid that much attention to it. But I don't know. I really like the Clone Wars, so I'm going to go with that. I really enjoyed that whole era. I enjoyed that whole era. I enjoyed that whole series. So I'll go with what they had in that one. So Jenna, season 4, but I really hate Lana Lang. I'm so glad you're on my team with that one. I agree. Season 4 of Smallville is a very good season and could be the best if they didn't have that stupid witch storyline with Lana Lang being possessed by a witch. They were just trying to find some creative way to put Lana in the show, trying to seek a Kryptonian artifact, and I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was just fine with Jason Teague, Lex Luthor, and Clark Kent chasing after alien artifacts. Lana doesn't have to be thrown into that at all. But for some reason, they think Lana is better than Lois Lane, and they have to throw her in there. I don't know. But it's one of those things. It annoys me. So thank you, Jenna. I'm glad you're on my team. I do like season 4 of Smallville. That season has some real stinkers, but it also has some really, really good episodes. Let's see here. Ever play Star Wars Republic Commando? If so, check it out on Xbox, PC, or PS4. I'll have to check it out on PC. I have not played it, but it looks like a really, really good game. Feed Me Frenzy. Hey, man, I don't have much time to hang long, but I just wanted to give you a big congratulations. I've been following you for years now. Even follow you on Facebook. Thanks for all you do. Well, Feed Me Frenzy, thank you so much for commenting. I'm so glad you followed me for so long. And again, I just want to say thank you to all of you. 11,000 subscribers. Man, I still pinching myself because it doesn't feel real. Thank you all so much for subscribing, watching, and I hope you're having a good time like I am with this live stream. I'm just having fun hanging out with you and talking with you. So thank you guys so much. True or false? Michelle Pfeiffer is the best Catwoman so far. P.S. It's true. Well, it doesn't help when you give the answer to the test while I'm taking the test, but I'm going to go with true. I think of all the Catwomen, I think I like Michelle Pfeiffer the best. I do like Anne Hathaway and The Dark Knight Rises. Nothing wrong with her performance in that. I think she does a good job, but yeah, Michelle, I mean, part of it is just my nostalgia to those first 2 Batman movies with Michael Keaton. Love those movies so much. Let's see. Patriotic vegan. I'm going to go back and rewatch The Chosen from the beginning. Then rewatch each season critiques like yours. Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate that. I, too, am in the process of going through and rewatching all of the episodes of The Chosen. I'm doing it for different reasons. I'm going to do more critiques and doing some more awesome projects. So great things coming up here in the future. Feed Me Frenzy. I also want to thank you for replying to my messages and stuff, even on Messenger. You're such a genuine person and honest. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Now that you brought that up, let me say this. I've been a little bit behind on some comments. So I got to go through and reply to a bunch of your comments on my last couple of videos. And I look forward to doing that. I think this is a great problem to have. The community just more and more getting involved and getting so many more comments. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so many. But I'm looking forward to going through them all. And I really do appreciate that. I really do try to reply to everybody. And right here at the very top, just another example of, me being human. One of my watchers here, Rebecca, she was like, you like so many other people's stuff. You don't like my comments. I don't mean to not like your comments. I love your comments, Rebecca. It's a great problem to have. So many of you commenting now and getting involved in the conversation. It's so incredibly exciting. So yes, always feel free to message me on my Facebook page or my Instagram page or whatever. And I'll respond to you whenever I can, and I'm just excited to have these conversations. Dale says, I would say Superman Returns is tainted because of Kevin Spacey, but then again, he did play a villainous role in Lex Luthor, so it's amplified LOL. Yeah, it kind of sucks when actors have those big scandals, but he was a great Lex Luthor, and then you have that scandal, and it kind of just puts this shadow over it, so it's like, yeah, that does. I'm with you on that one. Superman was raised by a mild-mannered Midwestern Methodist. He would not father a child out of wedlock. I greatly appreciate you agreeing with me on that. He would not. And that's one of the things I really, really disliked about Superman Returns. What is something you can defend about the Star Wars sequels? I can defend Rey being so natural with the Force. I could defend her being so natural with picking up the lightsabers. Even before we had the great big reveal that she was a Palpatine, I could defend it because I just feel like, it's the Force. And each movie, we really see it flowing through people differently. And I feel like we see the Force amplified, don't we? I mean, we see it quite powerfully with Anakin and the prequels, so much so that the Force somehow conceived a child, and that was Anakin. So that's incredibly strange. And so how often did you hear about that before in Star Wars lore? I don't know. If it is in Star Wars lore before that, let me know, because I really don't know. But Then you get into the sequels, and you have Luke Skywalker, who begins to exceed his father, and now you have Rey. And so, yeah, it makes sense to me, especially the idea that she's a dyad in the Force. And I think in the Clone Wars, they really get into that because there's this episode in the Clone Wars. It's like a 3 or 4 part episode where there's this planet, and it's a Force planet with the dark side and the light side. You have this father on this planet, and he's got his daughter who is the light side of the Force and his son who is the dark side of the Force. And it's a very fascinating episode. And I believe they address the concept of the dyad in the Force in that episode because I was pretty familiar with it when we got into that final episode. So the idea that there's a dyad in the Force and he's so naturally strong and trained in what he does, it makes sense that like her being his counterpart, there are things that would come more natural. I feel like I could defend that in the sequels. Of all the things in the sequels, Rey being naturally gifted is what bothers me the least. What really bothers me is the lack of plan. How did you get the attention of the chosen team? That is a fun story. So basically, Christmas 2019, around that time was when I first discovered The Chosen. So I watched season 1. I was blown away by it. So I was like, all right, I got to talk about this show. So I dropped a review on season 1. I thought nothing of it, just put it up there. And then Dallas came across it. And Dallas left a comment on there and he said, hey, I really appreciate this. And we might have an opportunity for a Chris Hardwick type personality in the future. You could be a good candidate for that. And I just responded, thank you very much. Please keep me in mind for that. I would love that. And then, I didn't hear anything for about a year. And then I had this video I did about how I related to Simon Peter in season 1, episode 4 of The Chosen. And Dallas commented on that. So what I like about Dallas, he's very active in the community. And so it was very cool to get these comments from him. And so he left me a comment on that one. And he just said, would love to work with you on something Chosen related in the future. And I was like, yes, please. Yes. So then I did my season 2 reaction for the trailer, for their season 2 trailer. And then they shared it. And then they contacted me right after that. And I remember getting the message from them. And I said, Laura, is this real or is this a scam? But I gave them my number and it turned out it was real. And so ended up chatting with them and did a couple of, talks with them over Zoom. And then got to have an in-face meeting. And that was pretty awesome. And that's just where it rolled into it. So I'm just really excited to be a part of the super fans, Chris and myself, representing the fans of The Chosen. So I'm very much so looking forward to where that's going to go. And I'm incredibly humbled by it because I can't stress enough. I had nothing to do with it. It's seriously, you want a God story in my life? That's a God story. I had nothing to do with that. Nothing. It's just God brought that together in the most amazing, humbling, miraculous way possible. So I'm thankful to get to do stuff with The Chosen. I'm thankful to get to know the Chosen team. They are genuine, great people, and it's just so exciting. So I appreciate you asking that question because it's a really cool story that I'm excited that I get to share. So yeah, thank you so much. Supergirl 1984 or Justice League 2017? They're both really bad. But Supergirl 1984 is a funner type of bad. Whoa, Durbin live. Congratulations on 11K. Well, thank you so much. So excited to have you in the comments and have you joining me. Lana drama. Let me see. Drinking game starts now. Yep. Yeah, a couple Lana drama comments already. Anytime you bring up Smallville, you're going to get from me hashtag in the Lana drama. 100%. Let's see. I met Brandon Routh at a Comic-Con in 2018. Super nice guy. Got a picture with him and an autograph from him. That's awesome, dude. I am a little bit... Oh, super chat! Thank you so much. I so appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, man, you are awesome. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you for just hanging out in this conversation with me. I hope you're having as much fun as I am with this. I have to go off to work. Have a good day and congrats on 11,000 subs. Let's hope you get to 15,000 by 2022. I'm not opposed to that. Let's get to 15,000 by 2022. My husband and I love this YouTube channel. Oh, well, thank you. I love you, and I'm so glad that you're here. All of you. I'm so glad that you're here, but I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. That really does mean so much to me. It really does. When will you do Superman and Lois? So my goal right now is I think I'm going to, for my channel, I'm going to wait until after the season finale. And then I'm just going to go ahead and review it as a season. And I might do a couple other videos based off that after the whole season is complete. So I will do more Superman and Lois stuff when I finish the season. My whole family came out last week. And, you know, it's summertime, 4th of July, barbecues, all that stuff. So I got a little distracted, but I will get back on board with that. And that is coming. And then you got the Wall of Weird. And so we're going to continue reviewing Superman and Lois on the Wall of Weird. And eventually that channel was founded on the idea of doing a Smallville podcast. We will do more Smallville talk. So yes, but right now we're all really enjoying Superman and Lois. So if you check out our channel, The Wall of Weird, we will be doing some more stuff on that there shortly. And yeah, Team Michelle Pfeiffer for Catwoman. Yep, we got a lot in common, you and me. We really do. Jenna says, I love the first 4 seasons of Smallville and season 7 again. Hate Lana Lang. That's about how I feel. I love the first 4 seasons of Smallville and season 7. And again, hate Lana Lang. Yeah, no, I think I feel about the same. I liked episode 7 a lot, or episode 7. I do that a lot recently. I liked season 7. Last time I watched it, I feel like they tried to accomplish too much in that season. And then they had the writer's strike and they had to really condense that season. So, but otherwise, it's a very good jam-packed season with a lot of powerful emotional beats, like especially with Lex Luthor and Lionel Luthor. So season 7 is a lot of fun. Lana Lang made me the second most mad she's ever made me in this show in season 7. First most mad would be season 8, the 5 episodes she returns. Thank you for those applause. I really appreciate that. Have you done anime reactions yet? A little bit. I haven't really dived into it too much. My favorite one that I have right now, I kind of split it into 2 because I was watching Castlevania on Netflix and I was watching season 1. At the same time, I watched The Hunchback of Notre Dame for the first time. And the villain, like the priest villain in Castlevania, and then you have the priest villain in Hunchback. I was like, oh, I got a bone to pick with this. And so I did a really fun video about these villains that claim the name of Jesus but don't believe in him at all. And you can see it by their actions. And so that was probably one of my favorite theological analyses. So if you haven't checked that out, I would go ahead and check that one out. That was a lot of fun for me to put together. When do you plan to hit 100,000 subscribers? Oh, that's easy. Tomorrow. That'd be great. Really, though, just ASAP. As soon as possible, I want to hit 100,000 subscribers. Yes, the Chosen team seem very active on social media. They've even commented on my video reviews. That's awesome. My first review even got more views than your first one. I'm not surprised. I mean, the Chosen community, like fans of that show, they love that show. And they love finding people that love that show and talking with people that love that show. And so, yeah, a lot of my huge growth has been me just fanning out about one of my favorite shows anyway. I love The Chosen. So it's a blast for me to put those videos together and talk about it. And it's so awesome to have that community just love it. So I totally 100% believe you, man. Yeah. It's pretty cool, like when you're chatting with the Chosen community online. I can defend that if it wasn't for Carrie Fisher's passing, then episode 9 would have turned out the way they planned. You know, I think there's probably a lot of truth to that. There probably is, because there would have been a lot more emotional points, and she definitely would have been way more of the main character, and they could have probably made a lot more sense out of some of the other plot points they were putting in there. And you could tell they had to do a lot of rewrites with her passing. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing that hurts is, yes, her passing did make that much more difficult. But if they had a plan from the beginning and knew what they were trying to get to, I think even with her passing, yes, it wouldn't have been as good. But with a plan, they would have at least known where it was supposed to go, and they could have still figured out how to get it there. You're still the superior. No, don't talk like that, man. Don't talk like that. No, you are fantastic. Do not talk like that. Supergirl 1984. I would watch for how gorgeous she is. That's back to our previous comment. Would we pick Superman or Supergirl 1984 over Justice League 2017? I think both are bad movies, but I'd pick Supergirl just because it's a fun bad movie, and Justice League 2017 just hurts to watch because you know what it was supposed to be. Never mind. I have a few more minutes. What are your two MCU characters you want to have a conversation? I think Rocket and Vision would be very fun. Oh man, I have not sat down to think about this. Rocket and Vision would be a really, really fun conversation. Two Avengers that would have a really good conversation. Loki and Doctor Strange. I would love to see those two sit down, have a cup of tea, and have a philosophical conversation about magic, time, and the universe. That would be good. Favorite song of all time? Oh, man. Okay. Favorite song of all time. So let me give you a background. I grew up very, very sheltered. So I only grew up listening to Christian music. And then I ended up working 14 years in Christian radio. So I would probably say any song by an artist named Carmen. He recently passed away. I'm incredibly sad that he passed away. But that dude impacted me so much, and it's hard to pick a song. I mean, Satan Bite the Dust would be one of my favorites. And the reason it'd be one of my favorite songs is it's not just a song. I'm a movie guy, right? I love movies and I love acting. Carmen, he was a little bit hokey. Satan Bite the Dust was a music video, and it was like this old West thing, but it's like a dramatized song. And so he comes into this bar that is full of demons dressed as a cowboy, and it's like an old West bar. So they all got cowboy hats and stuff done. And what he does is there's the spirit of alcoholism over there. So he takes the jug with the 3 X's on it and smashes that dude in the head. And then there's the spirit of infirmity, sickness over there. He says, we lay hands on the sick and they recover. So when he walks over, grabs that dude and punches him in the face. Then when he faces the devil, it is like high noon. And the devil's like wanting to cheat and pull out his gun too early. But there's like this mysterious power keeping the gun in the holster, and the devil can't do it. And Carmen shoots the devil. Like, it's awesome. I don't know. That's probably one of my favorites. I don't know if that's what you were looking for, but yeah. And it also, for a 9-10-year-old to see that thinking all Christian stuff is really cheesy and boring. That was the first time I went, wait, you can be a Christian and make fun, entertaining things that really impact people. Yeah. I liked Lana in the beginning, but then the writers took her off in a direction that didn't make sense. I agree with you. So we're back to a Smallville conversation. I'm loving this, by the way. I agree. She is not as bad in the first 3 seasons. It's after that, it's off the rails. She should have stayed in Paris. There was no need for her to come back, especially with season 4 when they bring in Lois Lane. And one of the reasons she just went so off the rails is I just feel like they were so desperate to have her on the show. The problem is all of us watching the show knows he ends up with Lois. And then when you introduce Lois, it's like, well, then what's the point? I mean, you're trying to make me care about something that I know isn't going to work. And I just felt like they were so desperate to make you care. It's what sent her character off the rails in the weirdest, worst possible directions. So I think I agree. Gosh, I get so passionate. Hashtag in the Lana drama. Hunchback, my favorite Disney movie too. I did not see that movie growing up. I quit after Lion King because that was so unbelievably good. I remember thinking that as a kid. It's like, it ain't going to get better than this. Like, I think Pocahontas was the next one. And I was like, I'm not going to see it. It's not going to beat the Lion King. And so I didn't see any more until I was a grown up. And Hunchback is probably one of my favorites that I've gone back to. Favorite streaming service? Well, that's hard. I like Netflix. Netflix has a lot of great stuff on it, and a lot of my favorite shows are on it. And I think they do a good job with the originals. My other favorite right now is HBO Max. The reason is because of all the DC stuff. I do like Disney Plus, but mostly because of all the Marvel stuff. So I have Disney and I have HBO, and I have them both so that I can have the DC and Marvel collections. And so I love like the animated library on HBO Max for the DC movies. So I think DC is up there for me. Oh, man, we've been going for an hour and 9 minutes. Gosh, thank you guys for sticking around, and you're still asking questions. This is awesome. So, I'll keep going as long as you guys want to. Congrats on 11K, Durbin. If you were to do a Pitch Wars again with Cody surrounding the DCU, what kind of story would you go for with the state of the DCEU right now? Okay, so first off, if you don't know what Ryan is talking about, if you go over to Cody Leach's channel, search for a video called Pitch Wars. There's like 2 or 3 on there. I did the first Pitch Wars with Cody. And what we did, the Pitch Wars idea was Cody pitches a DC movie and I pitch a DC movie. So he pitched an amazing solo like Batfleck movie that was incredible. I pitched my own version of Justice League, and I think it was before the 2017 movie came out. If I'm remembering that correctly, somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. So that was a lot of fun. Check that out. Now, if I was to do this right now, I think the movie that I would pitch would be Man of Steel 2 with Brainiac as the villain. And there would definitely be some DCEU cameos in there because you got to bring Cyborg into that, right? If you have Brainiac, who's kind of like this super smart interactive computer trying to bottle up cities and take information as treasure, yeah, you got to have somebody like Cyborg in there. And so I would definitely do something along those lines. I would continue where the Snyder Cut Justice League left off. I would do Man of Steel 2. I would bring in Brainiac. I would have Cyborg and Superman teaming up, but it would definitely be Superman's movie. And I think that would be a really, really good movie. I'm going to have to flesh that out some now because that is a brilliant idea. That reminds me, last March, Cody Leach and I were supposed to do another Pitch Wars. We're a little bit past March right now. Maybe I need to message Cody Leach here. What's your guilty pleasure game from what era and what? My guilty pleasure game. Oh, that's hard because I don't feel guilty about any of like the video games that I like, but probably one of my favorites that I like to go back to is probably Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest because I have that on my Nintendo Switch where I could open up the Super Nintendo games and stuff, and I do like to dive in there every once in a while and play those. I really did like the Donkey Kong Country games when they first came out. I own 1,000 comic books. That's awesome. Mostly Superman related. Which version of Superman 2 do you prefer, theatrical or Donner cut? I think I prefer the Donner cut. I like both, though. I don't think the Lester cut was that bad. But the Donner cut is better because when you bring Jor-El back, it just rounds out the story. Especially the way Superman, you see the communication between Jor-El and him start. And then in Superman 2, that emotional scene where Jor-El says goodbye to Superman. The only thing I don't like about the Richard Donner cut is the ending. So I don't mean to blow it for you, but it ends with Superman turning the world backwards. And you're saying, again? Well, originally, Superman, the movie, wasn't supposed to end that way. That was supposed to be the ending of Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. They had to go with that ending because they had to go with the footage they had already filmed and even fill some gaps with audition footage and stuff to make that cut happen. And so they couldn't just go in and reshoot a new ending that would make sense with that and leave Superman the movie as it was. So if they were trying to restore the Richard Donner cut, they had to use what they had shot and they had to put that ending on there because there was no other way to end it. So like I sympathize with where they're at. But I also did not like that, we had that emotional goodbye to Jor-El, and now Jor-El's back simply because he turned the world backwards. But beyond that, I really do like the Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. It is a fantastic cut of that film. And if you haven't seen it, see it. Is there a particular reason why you don't connect with Tarantino as much as other people? I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like he's foul for the purpose of being foul. Like when he writes his dialogue, I mean, he writes it to be dirty. He writes it to be filthy. He writes it to be foul-mouthed. And a lot of people praise it as it's just such great dialogue. I'm like, I don't think so. I think he's just trying to be gross. Maybe he's sitting around somewhere at home like, I'm so gross. And why are people praising this? I don't know. I don't connect with his dialogue. I don't connect with how he writes. That doesn't mean, and I know I just kind of insulted it, but let me just back up a little bit and say, that doesn't mean he's not talented, and that doesn't mean he's not good. It just means I don't connect with it. It's not something that I like. It's not something that I personally enjoy. So if you love Tarantino, love Tarantino. No reason not to. So love Tarantino, dive into those movies and have a blast. But for me personally, it's just not me. I don't connect with his dialogue. I don't connect with his style. It doesn't work with me. Thank you so much, MJTN. $5. You're awesome. Watch One Night with the King if you haven't. It's an adaptation of the Book of Esther. I have watched One Night with the King, and it is pretty fantastic. Now, I think Christian movies are bad as a rule, but there are exceptions to the rule. One Night with the King is one of the ones that I enjoy. My other one that I really enjoy is Risen, and The Chosen is just a category unto itself. It's just incredibly, incredibly good. Does Mrs. Durbania play any video games that you don't? Not well, she just yelled from the other room all the Zelda games. I like Breath of the Wild, but I'm not a Zelda person. So I don't get into Zelda very much. Laura loves Zelda. And let me also add this. That woman loves puzzles. She loves puzzle games. She loves problem solving. You know what I like to do? I like to jump on some bad guys' heads, collect some coins and stars, and move on to the next thing. I really like to do that. Laura wants to really get into the minutia of it, and no matter how long it takes, she just loves solving the tedious puzzles. So, yeah, any puzzle game that you can think of, that's where my wife is going to love it. That's what she's going to do. Let's see. Have you ever done a Blu-ray collection video? If not, would you ever be interested in? I did one very early on in Durbania. It was hard. And the reason it's hard is I have a massive, massive Blu-ray collection. Well, how long was the one Cody Leach did? Was it 3 hours or was it 7 hours? I don't know. Cody Leach did one, and it was ridiculously long. And I feel like if I did that, I would be in that same boat where it would just be ridiculously long. And I'm just like, do I have the time or the patience to sit down and do something that long? And then I got a little creative and I started dividing it up. So you go back and you can see I did some Marvel Blu-ray collection videos. I did a superhero collection video where I divided the Marvel and the DC. So I've done it. I just haven't updated it since a long time ago. And I don't really think about doing those that often. I don't know. Like I said, it's the time and the patience. I have a lot of movies because I love movies. So that would be quite the undertaking here. All right. Thank you so much, Zachary. Really appreciate you joining. It's been a blast. Let's see here. Zelda intellectuals. Yeah. How many Tarantino films have you seen? Okay, I've seen Kill Bill. I've seen Kill Bill Volume 2. I've seen From Dusk Till Dawn. And I've seen Pulp Fiction. I'm positive I've seen something else. Those are the top 4 that I could think of that I have seen right now. Out of those 4, I'm okay with Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. And I think I'm okay with it because it has a story that it's telling. Like, I'm not so much a character-driven fan person either. And he does a lot of character-driven movies, and that's fine. A lot of people love character-driven movies. Give me a good story. I want the story to drive things forward. I want to see characters change and grow as the story progresses. So that's probably another reason why I don't connect to a majority of his films, nor do I get really excited about seeing them. And it's probably the reason why I kind of liked Kill Bill, because there was a story to tell. And that whole speech about, Superman in there. I'm that much of a Superman nerd. Played any FPS games like Halo, Call of Duty, Medal of Honor. I played Call of Duty once. Halo I loved. I really got into Halo 1. I got into Halo 2 and got into Halo 3. But that was kind of the end of it. I haven't really gotten to another Halo game since then. Because I don't know. That's all I like on Xbox, really, is Spider-Man games and Halo. So I stick to Nintendo because that's where I get the majority of things there. Zoral King, how did you come to know Christ? Well, very fortunate in the fact that I grew up in a Christian home. And so my parents were like baby Christians as I was born, and really, they grew up in Christian homes too, but they really began to take their faith very, very seriously around the time that I was born. And so I just grew up in a house that was on fire for God. And so some people could grow up in that house and never actually believe on their own, but I did. It's just, I've always believed. I have just never not believed. And as I've gotten older, I just want to know God more. And I feel very blessed in that, that I have had that opportunity to grow up believing in God and getting to know him better throughout my life. So that's been something very, very cool. I appreciate that question. That really is a great question. Cody's Blu-ray collection was 7 hours. He had over 1,800 Blu-rays. Wow. Okay, so mine might fall around 5 or 6 hours. I don't think I have that many. but I have quite a bit. And that's not even including the digital stuff that I buy where I don't have the physical copy. So it's like, I got a lot. Christopher Renshaw, thank you so much, man. Christopher Renshaw is great. It's fun. Like, he messages me on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for being here right now. Dale, if you like fighting bad guys and collecting things, and Laura likes puzzle solving, then Resident Evil, I'd say, is a pretty good combination of both. All right, we might have to check out Resident Evil games, and Laura could do the puzzle side, and I'll just smash some bad guys. Yeah, I like that. If you ever analyze video games, I recommend the Halo franchise, Team ICO games, Flower Journey, Life is Strange, Batman Arkham series. I love the Arkham series. I got heavy into the Arkham series. My friend, not my friend, my brother-in-law had a PS4, and so spent a lot of time with him in the Arkham series. Spec Ops, The Line, Ori. Oh, Ori and the Blind Forest. That game drove me up a wall. Sonic and Zelda. Yeah, I have not done a lot of analyses on video games. I tried to do one on Mario Kart. I don't think that went over very good. It's hard to do an analysis on Mario Kart. I mostly did it about, how easily you can lose your patience, because I lose my patience quite often in Mario Kart, especially when I'm playing my wife and my brother-in-law. I always come in 7th place. I don't understand it. It's like this weird curse that when I play with my brother-in-law and my wife, I'm in 7th place. They're in 1st and 2nd. I come in 7th. It's that predictable. It's irritating. I feel like the game is alive and it's coming after me. Woo! This was fun. Keep up the great content. It's dinner time now. God bless y'all. Well, thank you so much. Enjoy your dinner. In fact, I'm probably about a half hour away from dinner time myself, so I got to do that. Oh my gosh, I've been going for an hour and 21 minutes. Wow. Well, thank you all so much for joining me on this. This is awesome. These are mainly narrative experience-driven games in which most of them have either thought-provoking themes, messages, underlying symbolism, or all at once. Yeah, I totally agree with that about Halo, too. Halo has a very interesting plot. I'd have to replay him again just to get that story fresh in my head. But there was a lot of things that could be analyzed into like a great story there. Let's see here. Why Resident Evil? It's a zombie game. Let's see. No joke. I'm actually playing Arkham City right now. Arkham Knight is my favorite. Yeah, Arkham Knight is good. Arkham City, I think, is my favorite. But that's also because I love that little gameplay mode where you could be Nightwing or Batman or Catwoman, and all you do is you go fight. Like, I love going through the city and accomplishing the missions, but after I beat it, I couldn't get enough. Just picking those levels where you fight and you increase, like, the more people you fight as you defeat each round. So, like, I love it. Why corrupt Durbin's mind with those? Yeah, the zombie games. Well done for at least trying to analyze Mario Kart. I appreciate that. Yes. Karen James, what are you most looking forward to doing as the chosen special correspondent? Oh, man, there's a lot that I'm really, really looking forward to doing. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more behind the scenes things. So what I'm hoping is I want to gather like what you fans of The Chosen really love about the show and questions that you have, because I can't wait for Chris and I to do stuff on set and do fun behind the scenes stuff that way, and be able to do that like armed with your questions. So if we get a moment to pull aside an actor or a producer or a writer or something, we can have like your questions to ask. So like that's something I am very much so looking forward to in being a correspondent for The Chosen. So I think that's going to be an awful lot of fun. And there's an awful lot of things that I'm very much so looking forward to. So there's exciting things ahead with that. And I can't wait to share it with you. I really can't. Aaron Johnson, the Blu-ray collection video might be shorter than Cody's. I had to play Cody's, especially for multiple days to get through all. Man, when I saw him dropping that video and how long it took him to upload it, I was just like, oh, gosh. So when that question came in, will I do a Blu-ray collection? I flashed back to Cody Leach and I go, dude, the stuff that he put up with to get that video done and uploaded. No. Oh, by the way, Chosen correspondents, Chris is going to join me tomorrow. We're going to review The Chosen Season 2 finale live. So that's going to be fun. So got another live stream planned for tomorrow, and Chris is going to join me on that. I just wanted to, toss that out there. Arkham Knight even let you play as Red Hood and Harley Quinn. Yes. Yeah, that was all really, really cool. And that's one of my favorite things about Arkham City. Me trying to save Durbin's mind of zombie games. Also me trying to find anime best approach. Oh, anime guy, as I knock my microphone. That's how much you're cracking me up. Okay. Alien franchise or Predator franchise? Oh my gosh, that's really, really hard. I think the only reason I'm going to say Predator franchise is because I love the first Predator movie like that much. But I love Arnold Schwarzenegger and I love Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. And Arnold Schwarzenegger threw a knife in a dude's chest and pinned him to the wall and he went, stick around. I mean, come on. That's just, oh, but I love the Alien, like especially Alien and Aliens. Those are fantastic. But if I had to pick, probably Predator. Yeah, because I liked Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought the third one was interesting when they were taken to that other planet and they were all part of the games and they were being hunted there instead of like the predators coming to our planet. They were like put in a park on another world and hunted down. I thought that was an interesting concept. Let's see. Dimension Scott. I love Injustice 2 to death. Have you played it? I have played. I think I played Injustice 1 once and I was really bad at it. Is it on Nintendo Switch? If it is, I want it. So, yes, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh my, have I reached the end of your questions? Oh man, let's see here. Is there any that I have missed? Okay, so we've gone about an hour and 26 minutes. It looks like I have scrolled to the bottom. If I have missed your question at all, I did not intend to. So I'm going to give you this opportunity right now. If I miss something from you or you got a question, go ahead and drop that down. Otherwise, oh, here we go. Oh, I have it on PlayStation 4. Okay, awesome. I'll look up and see if it's on Nintendo Switch because I'd love to know. Okay, so I'm going to start wrapping this up. If you have any other questions, let's do 4 more. I will do 4 more questions. And as I'm waiting for those to drop here, I will, answer them as they go. So I just want to say thank you again. 11,000 subs. That means so much to me. I'm so excited to have every single one of you on board. Thank you to all of you who have been watching for 1 hour and 26 minutes and 48 seconds. I greatly appreciate you being here. It just means so much to me. All right, question 1 of 4 right here. When you were a kid, who was your celebrity crush? The Pink Power Ranger. I didn't even have to think about that. I had a huge crush on the Pink Power Ranger. And I wanted to be the Green Ranger. He was my favorite Ranger, but, he also got to be with the Pink Ranger. So I had a huge crush on the Pink Ranger. All right, question 2 of 4. Are you eventually going to get into anime? I do plan to watch some more anime because there's some good stuff out there. And, there's a lot of good stuff that's dropping on Netflix right now. And yes, I'm going to check out Violet Evergarden. We'll probably watch it this evening so that the next time you and I talk, the anime guy, I could give you my honest thoughts on that. Let's see here. I'm not going to count that as one of my last 4 questions because I haven't really seen much with the thing. So I pick Alien. Let's see. Yeah, Studio Ghibli's okay. I haven't loved everything Studio Ghibli's done, but there's been a few good things. Like Rachel Wagner really got me into that. So thank you, Rachel. Let's see here. The anime guy shows Violet Evergarden, Cowboy Bebop, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke. Oh my. Okay. These are a lot of animes I'm going to have to refer back to here. Let's see. Tony J is a good voice actor. Hunchback was not my favorite film, though. He was in the TV show Tailspin as Shere Khan. Really? Oh my gosh. I haven't seen Tailspin in such a long time. So I hardly even remember what they all even sounded like in Tailspin. But it's on Disney Plus. So I could go back and rewatch that. All right, you guys. Well, I'd say about 2 more questions, but it really looks like we're wrapping this up pretty good here. So I'll just say thank you so much again. And as we're, waiting for like the final 2 questions to come in, let me just pop this up. These are my patrons. Thank you all so much for supporting Durbania. Several of you participated in the super chat today. So gracious, and I'm so thankful. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate the support, and I really appreciate the community. Whenever I do these live streams, I'm thinking, yeah, I'll go about 30, 40 minutes. Here we are, an hour and 29 minutes into it, and I didn't even realize the time had passed because I just enjoy hanging out with you guys that much. Oh, this is a tough one. Best Batman, Keaton, Bale, or Affleck? I think the best would be, in my opinion, and yes, we can go ahead and blame nostalgia. I don't care. Michael Keaton. I love Batman 1989. My weakness with that Batman is the way that suit is designed. He can't turn his head. He could barely, like when he looks up, he has to move his whole body up or his whole body down. That's kind of irritating. I do love Affleck. Not Affleck. Yes, I do love Affleck, but I love Bale. But by the second movie, his voice starts to irritate me. But I really do like Ben Affleck, and we just need more there. All right, here we go. Hey, Chris, what Avengers is your favorite Marvel non-Avenger character? Also, hello from your local theater. So good to see you. My favorite. Give me a second.
Aren't they all Avengers by the end of the movie?
What is your favorite Avenger? Okay. Hey, Chris, what Avenger is your favorite Marvel non-Avenger character? Favorite Marvel non-Avenger character. Give me a second. I mean, can I be cliche and just say Wolverine? I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He's such a great character. He does such a good job in that role. And he's not an Avenger, at least not in the movies. So I really do love that. Loved Logan. That was a fantastic movie. I was just trying to think who else. Like, I don't like the Fantastic Four movies that are out, but I really like the characters. Does that make sense? I watched Fantastic Four and Rise of the Silver Surfer. Don't love them at all, but I like the characters. So yeah, I like the Fantastic Four, and they haven't become Avengers yet. So I'd stick in that area. Yeah, for sure. But I'd definitely say Wolverine.
We watched The Thing together.
The Thing.
Yeah, you watched it because Cody recommended it.
Oh, the horror film. I thought you were talking about Swamp Thing. I don't know why my mind went to Swamp Thing. Oh my gosh. So the Thing are alien. Okay, the Thing, because the Thing was the Thing. The alien's an alien. You could see that. I mean, it hides in the shadows and it's scary. But what is the Thing? What form is it taking now? What is it taking over? That was really interesting. Sorry. Woo! Right over my head like that. I appreciate you, Michael, not giving up on me and bringing that back up. Yes. Why would I confuse? Oh, whatever. Oh, man. Let's see. I can't believe they are bringing back Tim Burton's Batmobile. I'm just excited they're bringing back that Michael Keaton Batman. Remember to look up Sunshine. It's on Hulu. Sunshine. I will look it up. I appreciate that. And on that note, I'm going to say good night, good evening, or whatever time of day it is. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I have greatly appreciated this time with you. And thank you. Like, seriously, thank you all so much for your support. Whether you're a patron and you give financially, whether you did the super chat, or whether you just hit that subscribe button and you're watching, that is all support. And I'm so grateful to have you all here. All 11,000 of you, I am so grateful that you are here, that you are Durbanians, and that you're part of this community. And I want to hear from you more. What reviews, what videos, what analyses do you want me to do next? So be sure to always be commenting things like that whenever I drop a video or whatever, because I look forward to oh my gosh, did I get this? Laura comes in pointing and I got another one. Matthew Romero, $5. Great show. I was late, but I can see I am going to have to rewind and watch the whole thing. Well, thank you so much, Matthew. I really appreciate that. And if you want to rewind and watch the whole thing, I thought this was a lot of fun, a lot of good questions, and I greatly appreciate that. And I'm so thankful to you just jumping on board with that, man. Thank you so much. That is so awesome. Oh, man, I'm still new to this super chat thing, so it's just so cool. Yes, thank you. God bless you all. You took the words right out of my mouth. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for being subscribers and being here and a part of Durbania and joining me on this live stream. Like I said, doing another live stream tomorrow, Matthew. Oh, yep. Hold on. I forgot to take this comment off. But just so you know, Matthew, I will be live again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time. And Kristen is going to join me, and we are going to be reviewing The Chosen Season 2 finale together live. So let's have some more interaction in the comments as we go live with that and dive deep into that review. And so, again, thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate it, and I have a great time. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell by that subscribe button so you're notified for my next live stream, my next movie review, ranking video, theological analysis, or anything else I do here. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.